Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to Against the Fence, where this is the place to be if you're obsessed and passionate about the UFC. And tonight we got a fan cam and we've joined by Chris from Buffalo, New York. Chris, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, guys. How's it going?
Oh man, I'm still buzzing. As you can tell, this guy's not tired and it's 6:20 in the morning over here.
It's crazy. It's like 1 a.m. here, and I'm losing it, man. I'm shaking. I don't think I'm gonna go to sleep tonight, if I'm being honest.
I'm literally, adrenaline is on high at the moment.
Good.
But I guess we should just talk about this main event at the moment.
Yeah, I think you got to jump right into it, man.
Where do I start for starters? Was you surprised about Leon getting the takedown in that first round? And
oh man,
were you falling asleep towards the end of the fight?
So personally, I personally wasn't, because we talked about a little bit before the fight. I like to throw a little bit of funds on the fight. You know what I mean? Gamble a little bit. So I had over 4.5 rounds. So I was sweating it a little bit in the third and fourth. So I was very invested still, no matter what. I didn't know what side to really take. Some cappers were on Leon, but Usman's so dominant. So the first round, I was like, okay, Leon, we're gonna wrestle this out. We're definitely going the whole fight. I'm happy. But 2, 3, 4, he just looked discouraged almost.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about on the broadcast, you know what I mean? So it made you think like that Usman, like, okay, Usman's just going to grind it out. He's going to show up in a stupid outfit and just talk about how happy he is to be a champion. But, man, Leon threw that left jab, set it up perfectly. He ducked it and just got caught, man. That was insane.
Yeah. I mean, I literally, was it 40 seconds? Because the guys in the
literally 40 seconds left. I know it was under 2 minutes. I was losing my mind. I didn't even look. I know it was under 2 minutes. I won my bet. And then they also said with less than a minute and some change left that he got the knockout. I was like, holy hell, man. And he did. He looked discouraged. His coaches were yelling at him. He wasn't looking anybody in the eyes. Dean Thomas was even saying like, hey, that's the sign of a discouraged fighter. Like, this is over. Like, they were burying this man, and he comes out and does that. And then talk about a good promo. He cut an awesome promo too.
Yeah. Like
some of the stuff he was saying was just like, wow. I respected it, man. It's chills.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hear any call outs. Personally, I think what's next for Usman. No, just take it. Yeah, you can need it. Sorry, just chatting. He's just packing up in the background.
No problem, man.
Yeah, I didn't hear him make any call out. I think he's got to fight Usman a second time, because normally that's the case, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it's a trilogy now. It's 1-1.
Yes, exactly. Even more so, and I think hopefully, this story is going to continue, and hopefully the third fight is a little bit more exciting than this one. Anyway, but I mean, it's like I said, 40 seconds left. I was looking at my phone. Adamant 4-0 up here, Usman. He's going to be walking away a unanimous decision. I was like, come on, let's wrap this up. Let's get the fan cam going and let's go to bed. But man,
let's get it going.
Did I get woken up or what? Because I just couldn't believe it.
That's exactly what it is, man. Best sport in the universe. Greatest sport on the planet. Without a doubt.
And this is why we sacrifice our early hours of the morning just to
do it.
But I guess phenomenal stuff. I mean, we should probably move on. Let's move on and talk about the co-main event then.
Okay.
Costa versus Rockhold.
It was absolutely.
It was a fun fight. Both guys.
It was a sloppy fight.
Did it go the way you wanted it?
So it didn't. Sadly enough, it did not. I was pressing it all week. I was on your guys' breakdown show, actually, just nonstop, just like Rockhold plus 550 by decision, Rockhold plus 550 by decision, telling everyone all week, like, hey, like, that's the play. That's the play. I made a good play saying the fight would go decision. That was at plus 275. So I cashed out right there. Pretty good. But at that plus 550 for Rockhold. And to be honest, he dropped Costa a couple times. 30-27 is insane to me. 30-27 was nuts. I thought, like, what are we talking about? When they said 30-27, I thought I won. I was like, okay, Rockhold fucking got it, because he definitely got around. You know what I mean? From what I watched, Rockhold caused more damage. Yeah, Costa did his thing, and I don't know what was up with that elevation. Like you said, you guys were tuned in for the main card, really, but the whole card from early prelims, everything, everyone was gassed tonight from the elevation in Utah. it was like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? How are you going to have fights like that? Just don't fight in those arenas. I mean, it sucks to say, but it's not football. It's not basketball. Like these guys go out there for 15 minutes and go balls to the walls. Like that high elevation stuff is no good. I think it cost a couple fighters the fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
sort of very reminiscent of um the Glover versus Prohaska card. It was very
Oh yeah.
similar to that. Both.
Mm-hmm.
But with those, there's a bit of altitude there, isn't there? But there's also the fact that weren't they fighting at like stupid o'clock at early hours in the morning.
Oh yeah, they were fighting
Everyone was
really early. It
just
was like 6, 7 a.m.
yeah, everyone's not completely recovered from jet lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you definitely saw that in the main event of that performance. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'd be excited to see the rematch of Usman versus Edwards in Vegas.
Absolutely.
That's a lot, not as taxing on the cardio. But yeah, I guess back to the Costa Rockhold situation. Were you a bit gutted
Yep.
that Rockhold was hanging it up? I mean, he was out for quite some time.
He was out for some time, but I'm happy he went out this way because those last couple fights at light heavyweight were really tough to watch. I was a Rockhold fan back in the Bisping days. Like I'm 25, been watching UFC probably since like 2008. So I've been watching since I was really young, and I'm talking like Czech Congo, Pat Barry time.
Yes.
So we got that fight was a little insane, like going back and forth right there. It's awesome watching Luke really just standing there, even though like putting his hands on his knees. I didn't like that stuff, but when they started talking about how like Derek Lewis tries to lull people in, I could kind of see it because he was catching Costa. You know what I mean? He didn't know what to do. He tried copying him a couple times and got caught. So in all actuality, like I like that Luke had a performance like this, even though it shouldn't have been 30-27. It should have been 29-28, even maybe a split decision. But that's me maybe being biased. I love the fact that he went out there, showed what he had against a really strong, tough dude. Everyone, and I mean every single person I talked to, had Luke Rockhold get knocked out first round.
Yeah.
I was like, this man's been away. Yeah, this man's been away for 3 years, and you think he's going to come back against the strongest power puncher in the middleweight division and just like sit down and get knocked out in the first round? It's not happening.
No, he definitely showed confidence in his hands this time around. Did
Absolutely,
especially in comparison to the last two fights. Now, he did hang it up. It is quite kind of a little bit sad to see, of course, because we're going through this kind of age now where a lot of these old school people that we were used to seeing quite a lot are now starting to sort of fade. I made a point in the watch long that, it's a similar sort of scenario to Joanna Jędrzejczyk where she's, had time out. She's got this modeling thing going along. She kind of had one foot in and out of the door, and it's the same scenario. But the thing is with Luke is, he didn't get knocked out, of course.
Exactly.
But I felt that coming away, and I said this, and I think this is probably the best decision for Luke Rockhold to make. Would be to not retire just yet. Have the second fight with Chris Weidman because both guys are probably at the same sort of level, and then go out after that one.
Go out on a win, kind of.
Yeah. I think that was his best bet, really.
Yeah,
at getting a win. But let's be real.
And I love the fact that he shoots for the stars, right? Luke Rockhold, no matter where he was, light heavyweight, middleweight, he was always fighting the best guys. I mean, he was the middleweight champion for a little bit there, not long lived, but he was. But when he went to light heavyweight, he was like, I'm not wasting time. I'm fighting the top guy. And then he went back down to middleweight. I'm not wasting time. I'm fighting the top guy.
Yeah.
I think in his head, he doesn't want those legacy fights. I think personally, he wanted one more chance at the title. You know what I mean? He's been hanging out with Cheeto Vera a lot. They probably got the same mindset. You know how he's kind of a dog. Luke Rockhold had a dog mentality coming in this. It's not beautiful. It's kind of gross. But how beautiful was him rubbing his blood into Paulo Costa's face?
I completely missed it live. Seeing it on the replay.
Really?
I didn't realize he was doing it. But yeah, that's grim. But that's some animalistic.
It was gross. But the sport we all loved, like that was some beautiful stuff. You know what I mean? He was just like, win or lose, he was like, you're gonna get this. And I thought it was cool. I just think that's an awesome fight to talk about as his last fight. I think he's always just been championship mentality, not like he doesn't really care about his legacies, but he wants that belt. And I think he knows like that opportunity is out the window. And he probably has money. He doesn't care about the money. You know what I mean? It was the gold he wanted. So I honestly don't think he'll come back. And if anything, I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? You gotta find that little bit of happiness for fighters that find peace with it. They're just done.
Yeah, fair play. Strong opinions there, and that's what we love on this channel is fan opinions. And
Yeah, man.
yeah, we were going back and forth on that one. Let's probably wrap this up then by talking briefly about Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. Wasn't the most exciting of fights, let's be honest. Tell the viewers who you had in this.
So I had Jose Aldo in this.
Yeah.
Sadly enough, I personally think he stole the first round. I don't know about you.
Hmm. Did I? I think no. I felt that Merab did enough in the round
You
one,
thought
and then I
Merab took it?
think I had Aldo in round two,
Yeah.
and then all to play for in round three.
Okay.
I think it was
Yeah.
that.
It was, like I said, it was a weird fight to judge. I
Mm.
tweeted mid fight that I kind of just put on there. It was a kind of busting balls a little bit, but I was like, someone needs to neuter Merab because he won't get off my man's leg. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. You win the fight that way. It was very similar to like TJ versus Corey Sandhagen. It's like they just get control and they know. Even Merab said at the end of the fight, he knew what he had to do to win, and he did what he had to do to win. I respect it.
Yeah.
It was just a weird fight, and you hate seeing a legend like Jose that's so exciting, so like confident, and even I sent to you, we had a little bit insider information before the fight
Yes.
that Merab was dealing with an injury. So I was like, okay, Merab's dealing with an injury. The line movement on the fight was going in favor of Merab, which was like creeping me out after I heard that from James Krause, but it was still information that I was willing to ride on. And I was like, okay, I already like Jose, plus Merab's dealing with something. I never got confirmation on what it was he was dealing
Okay.
with, but they definitely said there was something going on. So you live and die by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and you can't, yeah, like you said, you can't really fault Marab for that kind of game plan, really. I felt whilst I
Hey,
was
he
watching
won.
the, yeah, he did what he needed to do, really, against a very hungry, tough Jose Aldo, who's, making another run at a belt at a lower weight class. And, for him as well, a win against a former champion says a lot for him. But, at the same time, it's sort of like, well, where is your career going if you're not going to fight Aljamain Sterling? And you're pretty much banking on Aljo losing almost to propel your career forward. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to gatekeep. So
But
it'll be
how
interesting to
crazy
see.
is that?
Yeah.
Because have you heard like because I've heard Aljo say multiple times because I've been a big Aljo fan. Probably, oh man, I met him back in New York City one time. I was at the Daniel Cormier versus Derek Lewis at MSG, and
Okay.
I met Aljo there before he was even. I think he wasn't even top 10 yet, so he was like still just like a cool dude, and like we were shooting the shit, and we DM back and forth. But he has said multiple times that he would clear up and move up in weight class so
Yeah.
Merab could take the belt. And how much weight can you put into that when you have such a dominant champion like Volkanovski up at 145? You know what I mean? But with Korean Zombie and Josh Emmett just got not Korean Zombie, Yair and Josh Emmett just got announced for the interim. So you never know. Maybe Volk goes up to 55, Aljo cops up, steals the interim belt or something, and then we have a big fight right there. Merab takes 135. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that could be looking very likely. As I say, it would be a matter of beating TJ Dillashaw, who you could really argue is now the bantamweight goat, so to speak. If we can throw the word
Yeah,
out
for
there.
sure.
If he beats him, then yeah, maybe it's safe to say to go up because otherwise. The thing, Marab's kind of stepped into the top half a lot earlier than expected. Really, you said
Absolutely.
you're going
Yeah.
to clear out the division. Well, a title defense against Peter Yan and a win against TJ Dillashaw is not exactly clearing out this stacked bantamweight division. So, yeah, I think you're probably right. I think a win against TJ, move up to 145, make a case there. But then at the same time, you've also got Henry Cejudo potentially
Yeah.
putting his name in the hat as well.
Talking about coming back, man. I think that's insane. I would love for him to come back. I love when guys have been away for a while. I mean, Henry, of course, King Cringe. He does his thing. He like shouts out that whole and the whole thing with Sean O'Malley at the interview. I thought that was so dumb. But I'm very excited for Sue to come back because he's a dominant wrestler. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think that'll be a fight between Aljo and Henry that will be similar, very like similar to like when Covington and Usman fight. They both know how dominant they are at wrestling, so it'll be a stand-up war. And I have Henry over Aljo in stand-up personally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he showed some
Yeah.
wins. He showed some striking before, so
yeah, it was definitely improved, especially when you saw that in the Wilson Hayes fight.
mm-hmm.
His striking looked phenomenal, and the loss to Demetrius Johnson back then did elevate him massively.
Oh, absolutely.
Although I do think that Aljo's reach and his long arms are going to be a bit of a problem
Oh, big problem for me
for
getting inside.
Cejudo. So it's going to be very a difficult contest. But yeah, fingers crossed we get that down the line. Personally,
Yeah,
I
man.
felt that Henry was a little bit stupid to walk away from the sport and originally.
Oh, it was ridiculous because he would have been paid eventually. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
keep winning, you keep being that dominant, you will get paid. He was just being a little baby, stepped away way too soon, and I think he knows he made a mistake. Because what now? How funny would it be if he came back and gets finished? I think it would be absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I
But
would laugh.
yeah, I literally laugh.
I'd
Yeah,
go into
same here.
hysterics. Be good to see,
But
but
just something real quick before
yeah.
we end this. Once again, thank you guys for having me.
No, it's
But Aljo, if you really think about it, man, he kind of did clear out the division a little bit. I mean, I know, like thinking about it, he
mm,
beat Jan, right? He beat Jan. We'll count one, and then the other one was bullshit. He should have lost, whatever. I wouldn't say bullshit because it was an illegal knee at the end of the day.
yeah.
He choked out Sanhagen.
Mm-hmm.
If he beats Dillashaw, he beat Dillashaw. What else do we got? What else is top five in bantamweight? Who are we talking? I know Merab's in there now.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably have obviously Marlon Vera, who's looking an absolute killer at the moment, so he could move
Yep.
up in that time frame. Just really, he's going to be holding it down for him, preventing anyone else from getting near it.
For sure.
So, yeah, you're probably right.
But if you look at the division, he kind of did beat a lot of the guys that were there. I mean, it doesn't seem like it because he didn't fight a lot, but he caught some really good wins. And then with TJ Dillashaw coming up, he gets that win. I could very well see him being like, "Hey, Marab, here you go, man." You know what I mean?
True. Yeah,
And he a neck injury too. It's kind of like, how long do I want to do this for?
Yeah, I guess the dark horse looking at it would be Song Yadong if he was to get a win against Corey Sandhagen. Personally, I can't see it. It's a bit of a
Me either. I love Sandhagen, man. But I'm a big Sandhagen fan, and I was very upset that TJ got that decision over. I was Peter Yan, fair play. He beat him.
Yeah.
But Sandhagen took the fight on short notice. No excuses. He lost that fight, but I'm pumped. I'm excited for the future, man. I'm really pumped up. Things are going to get crazy very quickly, and everything's shaking out. You know what I mean? It's almost like a PFL tournament kind of style that they got going right now with this division.
Spot on. Yeah, absolutely. Spot on. It's one of, if not the most exciting divisions in the sport, in my opinion. I don't know about you. Are you going for bantamweight or would you say lightweight?
Bantamweight. I was a huge Khabib guy personally.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was just not. I watched him win the belt at Barclays against Ally Quinta.
Sick.
I had tickets for Tony Ferguson. Of course, that gets canceled. And then it turned into Max Holloway. Doctor calls that. Yeah. And then I got to watch Ally Quinta versus Khabib. So spent $400 on that ticket for nothing. But yeah, no, I was a big Khabib guy. So when he left, I was kind of like, But what's crazy is you would think I love Islam now, But when Khabib was leaving, I hopped on the Charles train before he won anything.
Whoa.
I love Charles, man. And I love Charles to beat Islam come UFC 280.
I mean, we could go back and forth with this all night. I never really got or get why Khabib fans never jumped on board with Islam.
Yeah, man. I just never did. He just doesn't do it for me. I watched him get knocked out, man. With Khabib, it was just something about perfection.
Yeah,
like I seen Islam get knocked out. You know what I mean? Khabib was literally like, I think technically he lost a round to Conor, and that's it, ever. And that fight was there. But just something about it. I think I was 2016. I was like 19. I was like all in, man, and I just loved it, dude. Khabib was the man. I had shirts. I was at Barclays with a Khabib shirt on in Brooklyn with all these other Americans rooting for Ally Quinta from Staten Island, New York, and they're like, "Why are you rooting for the Rush?" It was a big thing, man. So
man.
I was diehard. I was diehard.
Hat on your head as well.
Literally, just a big old target. Amazing. But yeah, man.
Amazing. Well, Chris, we're gonna have to wrap it up there, man. But you've been a phenomenal guest. It's been good to get your opinions on all things
For sure, my man.
UFC and mixed martial arts. And man, we'll
Of course
definitely do this again sometime in the near future.
Yeah, man. Let me know whenever. I'm always down.
Love it, love it. All right, Chris. Well, bid you good night. I'm gonna get some sleep, that's for sure. And
Appreciate you, bro.
We'll
About to do the
soon,
same,
brother.
Yes, sir.
Take care, my man.
Same to you.